really care about us. Tell me what has become of my life. I have a wife and 2 children who love me. I am the victim of police brutality. No, I'm tired of being the victim of hate. They're ripping me of my pride, for God's sake. I think they're trying to fulfill this prophecy. Set me free, skinhead dead. Everybody gone past temperature. Beat me, hate me, you can never break me. Will me, thrill me, you can never kill me. Chew me, sue me, everybody do me. Kick me, kite me, don't jump like a white me. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. Tell me what has become of my life. I have a wife and 2 children who love me. I am the victim of police brutality. No, I'm tired of being the victim of hate. They're ripping me of my pride, for God's sake. I think they're trying to fulfill this prophecy. Set me free, skinhead dead. Everybody gone past temperature. Beat me, hate me, you can never break me. Will me, thrill me, you can never kill me. Chew me, sue me, everybody do me. Kick me, kite me, don't jump like a white me. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. Tell me what has become of my life. I have a wife and 2 children who love me. I am the victim of police brutality. No, I'm tired of being the victim of hate. They're ripping me of my pride, for God's sake. I think they're trying to fulfill this prophecy. Set me free, skinhead dead. Everybody gone past temperature. Beat me, hate me, you can never break me. Will me, thrill me, you can never kill me. Chew me, sue me, everybody do me. Kick me, kite me, don't jump like a white me. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. Tell me what has become of my life. I have a wife and 2 children who love me. I am the victim of police brutality. No, I'm tired of being the victim of hate. They're ripping me of my pride, for God's sake. I think they're trying to fulfill this prophecy. Set me free, skinhead dead. Everybody gone past temperature. Beat me, hate me, you can never break me. Will me, thrill me, you can never kill me. Chew me, sue me, everybody do me. Kick me, kite me, don't jump like a white me. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us.
May I have your attention, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Back here, the rat situation. We're going to do 130 laps, 3 sets of tires, as they're rolling off pit road.
Roger, you got a copy up there? I do, sir. You ready to kick this thing off? Let's rock and roll. Hey, stars off. You ready?
Green flag here, racing. Once again, the Rat Duke Racing League.
First opportunity getting into turn 1 and 2, and you're going to see Nate Lesko on the bottom side of that Nesquik Toyota Camry. Huge rush.
John Crosby in the 77. And we'll go at it, the 73 and the 77. Door to door into 1
out
and 2.
of turn 4, and they start heading back. Oh, then they wreck 18th around big move on Ringer. Just hurled to the inside. That was nearly a mess.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Oh, the ramparts we were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular amongst birds singing out, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jacob Williams, and I will be the main commentator slash host for the evening until Mr. Will Tiller can make it into the broadcast booth to help commentate this race. We are week 6 at Darlington for our Thursday night NextGen series. These guys are going to wrap up their, actually, no, I take that back. They actually have two minutes left in their warm-up lap, and we're going to kind of do a quick recap of last week's race. Mr. John Crosby was our race winner, currently 4 weeks in a row that he has won the NextGen series, and we'll kind of take a look at the points battle currently. And everyone, ladies and gentlemen, I will have to say that he is blowing everyone out of the water currently with a 57-point lead. Shortly behind him is Todd Perrant, and then behind Todd we have Brandon Hinton, Cody Deek, and Tyler Waltz, and then Thomas Wynn, Tom Ringer, Anthony Harden, Brian Sousa, and then Darby Mararoth. We'll see if Mr. John Crosby can make it 5 in a row this week, but we will see. And actually we'll see if we can get him into the booth to kind of give his thoughts on tonight. Let's see here. John, you got a copy? What's going on, buddy? Hey, you're live in the booth with myself. Will isn't here currently, but was just kind of telling everyone who's watching currently that you got 4 in a row currently, and wanted to see if you think if you have it in you to get 5 in a row tonight. Mm-hmm. Oh shoot, John, my apologies. I have you muted. Okay, sorry, my bad. Technical. Yeah, I didn't broadcast on Tuesday, so I'm a little rusty on how to operate this thing. My fault.
No, you're good. No, what I was saying is just pretty confident. Not sure what it's gonna be like on the long run. Last night and the night before we did Trucks and O'Reilly's, and on the long run I was doing pretty good, but it's just I didn't have a lot of practice with this car, so we'll see where it leads us, and maybe make some adjustments along the way, and hopefully not wreck off a 2 first lap.
You think you're going to earn your stripe tonight?
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just wall ride the whole thing just to make sure I get it done and out of the way.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, I see that Brian made it to the race this evening. How well do you think he's going to do? Did you give him a little shoulder rub and a little pat on the butt and tell him to get after it?
Well, he's amazing at these types of tracks, so he'll be fine. I expect him to make a top 5. So we'll see though. He's really good at saving. So yeah, he'll do good. I have faith in him.
Well, awesome, awesome. Well, hey, John, I'll let you get back to the track. I see y'all are gridding up. Appreciate you joining me in the booth, and best of luck to you this evening. All right.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, brother.
Stay.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. John Crosby, last week's race winner at Las Vegas. Well, right now we are currently having everyone grid up, so we will go through the starting lineup. In row number 1, our pole setter, Zach Engel and John Crosby. In row number 2, we have Mr. Tom Ringer and Thomas Wynn. In row number 3, we have Todd Parent and Will Weber. In row number 4, we have Victor Etheridge and Sam Millican. In row number 5, we have Darby Mararoth and Brian Sousa. In row number 6, we have Bobby Rowden and Sean Dion. Row number 7, we have Anthony Harden and Brandon Yates. In row number 8, we have Jonathan McIntosh and Brandon Hinton rocking that Postal Service paint scheme again. Row number 9, we have Cody Deek and Colton Jackson. And that will be it for our grid. We have an 18 field size tonight. Lights are out on the pace car. We are going to go green, coming around this back stretch and going through turn 3 and 4. Pace car is in, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Zach Engel on the inside lane and John Crosby on the outside lane. We'll see. Ooh, a little bit of a slow start. Oh, big checkup. Oh, what a way to start the race. Oh, unfortunately, man. Let's see if a caution ends up getting called out on that. No caution? Huh. Interesting. What a way to start the race at that point. Zach Engel in that first position ended up kind of getting out of the mayhem on that start right there. Ooh, Thomas Wynn with looks like a little bit of front end damage on that point. Let's kind of take a look at that. Yeah, right there, he's got that front grille kind of smashed in a little bit. We'll see if that will. Ooh, he has already earned his stripe. I know it's not in 2, but right there, he's got a little bit of looks like quite a bit of damage on that right front right there too. Let's see if he can keep it up off that wall. Let's kind of go back and see on that green flag start kind of what happened there at that point. Ooh. That was Tom Ringer. It looks like he kind of got a little loose at that point. Maybe a little bit slight of a checkup. Oh, yeah, he just kind of got loose right there. And it just, even being in second gear, typically that's the gear you want to be in. It's just kind of like it got out from underneath him. And that's not normal for Tom. Yeah, that back end just came out, and then kind of chaos just kind of happened at that point. Let's take a look at Thomas Wynn's cockpit view right now. Yeah, there's not much that you can do at that point with Tom kind of coming across the nose, and then you got a little fender bender action. I'm really shocked that the caution didn't come out at that point. Oh, here we go. And actually, caution is out currently. Looks like. Ooh, yeah. Let's take a look here. Victor Etheridge. Hit the wall, and it looks like Brandon Hinton kind of gave him a little love tap on that backside. Yeah, hit that wall, and Brandon just kind of got into the back end of him a little bit. There's really not much that you can do at that point from Brandon's perspective. Kind of was right on board. Let's kind of see if we can't get a nose shot. Yeah, no, just. Yeah, Victor hit the outside of that wall. And Brandon just got up underneath him and kind of gave him a little push. Again, there's really not much that you can do about that, unfortunately, but try and check up and hopefully avoid it. Here we go. Let's see if this restart can be a little bit of a better one. Lights are out on the pace car at this given point. You know, Zach Engel, Darby Meroth, Will Reber, Todd Perrott, Brian Sousa, and Sam Milliken. And here we go. Oh, a little bit of a slow restart. Looks like Darby at that point just did not. Oh, and then Todd Perrott to the side of Darby. Another caution is out. Oh, going a little bit of little sideways action. Oh, chaos is consumed. Oh, man. Brian Sousa collects the side of Todd Perrott at that point, trying to avoid it all. Comes down low and just collects him. A little two-wheel action. Oh, man. Now, hopefully, let's take a look at this one more time. Yeah, Todd just kind of came in a little hot. Probably a little bit more than what he would have liked. Let's run it back. on board with Darby. Yeah, he just kind of came up into him a little bit. Got spun around. Just kind of... And Darby did end up getting collected. Let's ride on board with Brian Sousa at this point, kind of see what his point of view was looking like. Trying to dodge everything, and unfortunately got caught up. Already kind of hit the wall trying to not plow into the back end of Will Weber at that point, and then just trying to slow down. Just, oh, lordy. Little two-wheel action right there. Never seen that before. Whew. Second caution. Lights are out on the pace car. Entering 1. About to exit out of 2 to go down the backstretch. We'll kind of see right now if it'll allow us to kind of pull up some accurate information of who's kind of making repairs. Because right now we still have Thomas Wynn and Brian Sousa in the pits. Yeah, Victor Etheridge had about minute 45 of damage. John Crosby about a minute 2. Thomas Wynn currently showing, no, it still shows that he's in the pits, but shows about 39 seconds. But we'll check back in after we get this restart underway. Pace car is in. Let's see if we can keep this clean. And here we go. Zach Engel on the restart. Sam Milliken right there on the outside of him. Will Weber, Jonathan McIntosh, Brandon Yates, and Bobby Rowden shortly behind. Looks like a little single file action. John Crosby and Darby Mararoth kind of going side by side, exiting out of 2. Ooh, Bobby Rowden just kind of riding that outside wall. We'll see if Brandon Hinton gives him a little bit of a love tap from behind. Tom Ringer right there behind him. It's a nice paint scheme. Looks like a Pontiac Firebird at that point. A little old school retro action. Love it. Kind of work our way towards the back. Darby Mararoth in front of Sean Dion. Todd Perrant shortly behind him. Zach Engel, our race leader currently. Roughly about a 0.6 of a second of a gap that he has on Sam. Will Weber. That's a little bit of a tongue twister right there. Will Weber. Ooh, Bernie Yates got loose out of coming out of 4 at that point. Let's see if he ended up saving it. Yeah, he ended up saving it, losing quite a few positions, but man, yeah, he let's see if he hits that gets his stripe coming out. Let's kind of jump back and kind of see what happened here. Ooh, just barely touches that wall. Gets a little loose. Oh, locks up the brakes. Saved it. Didn't hit that lower wall. Yeah, I mean, lost a few spots, but, you know, it did end his race. Jonathan McIntosh, Tom Ringer, John Crosby. Tom Ringer slowly, ooh. John Crosby slowly but surely working his way back up. We'll see if John can make the pass on Tom. Jonathan McIntosh kind of slowing those guys up just a touch. A little bit of a checkup from Tom and John. Right on board with John Crosby, and as always, every week we always give his team sponsor a shout out. Good old Debbie Energy. Use code JC73 for 10% off. Go get your Debbie. There's several great flavors at that given point. Again, use code JC73 for 10% off. Let's ride on board with Mr. John as we're talking about it. See if he can make the pass on Tom Ringer right there on that lower lane. Or if he's just going to kind of cruise behind him. Oh, yep. Tom ended up giving it to him. Oh, I take that back. It's not a Pontiac Firebird. I'm sorry for everyone that was listening. It is a Trans Am. Kind of tune into our race leader. Currently has a 2.5 second lead on Sam Milliken at that point. Shortly after, we have Will Weber, John Crosby, Tom Ringer, Brandon Hinton. Uh-oh. I'm showing on my end that Mr. Thomas Wynn has unfortunately crashed again. Let's see if we can pull this up and see what happened. Oh, just gets loose a little bit. Tries to save it. Does he get out of the wall? Oh. Let's take it back really quick. Oh, yeah, kind of just snapped on him at that point. Yeah, just got on that throttle a little too heavy. Coming out of 4, snapped on him. Locked up the brakes and, man, hit the wall pretty hard. We'll see how much damage he ends up getting. I mean, he was able to drive it off. He didn't have to reset to go to the pits at that point. So, see if he can get some more repairs done and hopefully, don't get too far behind at that point. Our race leader, Zach Engel. Again, roughly now a 3.5 second lead in front of Sam Milliken. I think, with that restart or the start of the race, and we'll see if we can't go back and kind of show everyone who's kind of tuning in what happened on that, I don't want to say restart of the race, but the initial start of the race at that point. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in, this was the very start of our race. Unfortunately, Tom got a little loose on the start. Ended up coming across the top of Thomas Wynn at that point. I mean, John Crosby was already in the wall, too. Thomas Wynn ends up collecting, Tom ends up collecting Thomas. Will Weber barely misses him. John Crosby goes down to the lower wall. And then just chaos unfolds. Who kind of... What a way to start the race at that point. And then shortly after, unfortunately on that restart too, everyone else kind of got collected at that point. And not to pour salt into the wound, just allowing everyone to kind of catch up and why everyone's kind of spread out so far. It's been a little bit of a doozy of a race. Yeah, Todd Perrott and Darby Mararoth at that point, and then Todd comes down right here, and Brian Sousa trying to miss him, collects, ends up kind of catching the back corner. And unfortunately, I think that's the end of the night for Brian Sousa. Our race leader, Zach Engel, hasn't really had much of a fight for that first position. Looks like he's coming up on lap traffic. Looks like that's Todd Perrott in front of him. About a 4-second lead. Yep, Todd Perrott going to that lower lane to allow him to pass. Ladies and gentlemen, I have received confirmation that Will Tiller is on his way to the studio, and we will be accompanied by him here shortly. Allowed to have my co-pilot and partner to give a little bit more of an entertaining call out. John Crosby in that second position. Let's see if he can end up catching up to Zach Engel at that point. And let's kind of take a look at like a on ride. Let's actually show the fuel status of kind of what what John's running. I'd say he has a little over half a tank left. So roughly what the guys were telling me, they were having about a 55 to 60 lap pit window. And with the cautions that's kind of come out, John Crosby, he's 22 laps since the last pit stop. So, it shows that he's made repairs. And Zach Engel, I mean, he hasn't hit yet. So, that's probably why he stayed out of the chaos a little bit. But we're on lap 32 and 110. I mean, Zach, he's going to have to end up hitting here shortly. Not here shortly, but probably within the next 25 laps. So we'll see if John can end up kind of saving some fuel and make the pass on Zach whenever he enters the pit. And we'll kind of check in with him. Yeah, right there, he's a little bit below half. So at that point, we'll see if he can end up getting the position back from John whenever he has to enter the pits, or will there possibly be another caution come out to where Zach can kind of hold off John at that point. Tune in to Brandon Yates. Everyone is just slowly spread out at this point. Right now, Brandon Yates 16 seconds away from our race leader. Behind him is Darby Mararoth, and then Sean Dion. roughly a 6-second gap at that point. Between Brandon Yates and Darby, and then about a 3-second gap between Darby and then Sean Dion shortly behind there. Ladies and gentlemen, we will roughly have Will Tiller in our broadcast booth in about 5-10 minutes. So don't you worry. Grab some popcorn. Get your seat ready. He's going to put on a hell of a show for us. So we're going to tune back into our race leader, Zach Engel. Roughly about a 2-second lead, which, it dropped from 4 now to 2. John Crosby slowly but surely cracking down that distance between one another. Again, we'll see if John can end up making this number 5 in a row. And John's working through some lap traffic currently. Cody D kind of going towards that lower lane to allow him to pass by. And we'll see. Well, like I said, we'll see if we can get John in victory lane again on number 5 in a row. I don't even think it's been done before. So if so, I don't even think 4 in a row has been done before within the league's history. So we'll see what happens a little bit. Again, we'll kind of do a race recap. We've had 2 cautions for 6 laps for everyone that's kind of tuning in. Our race leader, Zach Engel, hasn't really had much of a battle this race, so it's just kind of been him running the show, really. But right now, John has put about 5/10 of a second, and as we're watching that tower, that distance between one another it's starting to close the gap. So we'll see if John can end up closing that. Let's see their times for the last 5. Yeah, John Crosby's running a 30. last lap ran at 31. Oh yeah, 31.5. And then Zach Engel, you know, he's running a 31.3. So John roughly has about 28 to about 2/10 of a second on Zach at this point. And right now it's John has gotten that distance within a second. On our tower, it did fall within 9/10 of a second, but now it's nine. Oh, there it goes. Now it's 9/10 of a second. So we'll see if John can end up getting that position back from Zach at that point. We'll do a little onboard action, a little hot pursuit. John Crosby hitting that wall. If he wants that first position, he needs to end up staying off that wall. But it looks like he has earned his stripe for the night from Darlington. And I do believe, unfortunately, everyone that's been in this race has earned their stripe. I don't think there hasn't been a single person that's hit that wall yet. John's got that gap now to 1/10 of a second. We'll see if he's going to end up passing him on that lower lane. Yep. Zach didn't even put up a fight. Just let him go on by. But now we'll see at this point, you know, with Zach, I want to say Zach's on older tires. He hasn't pit yet. Yeah. So Zach hasn't pit yet. John's on 41 lap old tires. At that point, Zach is on 50 lap old tires. So we'll see in the next 5 laps or so if we're going to end up seeing Zach pit. And then we'll also see if John's going to end up short pitting as well. Ooh, looks like Sam has hit the wall, and he is slowly but surely losing. Actually, no, he's up 3 spots from where he originally started. I just ended up catching him at a bad time. In front of him, you know, that's Thomas Wynn, about 14 laps down, and we'll kind of take it from the top. We're going to race leader John Crosby, Zach Engel, Brandon Hinton, Will Weber, Sam Milliken, Tom Bringer, Jonathan McIntosh, Brandon Yates, Darby Meraroth, Sean Dion, Cody Deek, Bobby Rowden, and then at that point we're getting into deeper lapped traffic. Todd Perrant 4 laps down, Brian Sousa 14 laps down, and Thomas Wynn 14 laps down. Victor Etheridge, unfortunately, his night is done from that little love tap that he received from Brandon Hinton coming out of 2. Kind of brushed the wall, and Brandon couldn't check up quick enough. Anthony Harden out, and then Colton Jackson out as well. And so currently 15 guys still on the track. And at this point, we are going to go to a commercial break, ladies and gentlemen.
At the starting of the week, at Summit Talks, you'll hear them speak. It's only Monday. Negotiations breaking down. Those leaders start.
And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Will Tiller is in the booth now. Will, it's good to have you.
Yes, sir. It's good to be here on a Thursday night with these next gens, and I love the accolades you give me when I'm not on the air. So I just need to spend more time off the air to get some more accolades. But I appreciate it, Jacob. You put on quite a show in my absence, and it looks like it is the John Crosby show here. Oh, once again, he is the man in the next gens, representing W Energy to the finest there in that 73 machine, leading the way here at the Lady in Black. And as you mentioned before I came on the air, the caution flags have racked up here, which is kind of not the trend for these next gens as we see John Crosby heading down pit road.
Yeah, no, as soon as you started saying caution, it looked like John kind of got a little loose coming down pit road at that point. I thought we were going to have another caution come out, unfortunately. But no, yes, it's not, especially on the smaller field sizes, it's not as common, so I'm a little shocked as well. And then Will, what we'll do is, I know you weren't here, but for those who are tuning in and for yourself as well, what we'll do is we'll kind of take a look at that green flag start, where the chaos unfolded, unfortunately. And what we'll do is we'll kind of take a look at it from Todd Perron's point of view, because he kind of gets caught up in the middle of pretty much all of it at that point. So right now we'll kind of see a little bit of a checkup. Tom Ringer gets loose, kind of breaks the wheels loose a little bit, comes across the nose of Thomas Wynn, and then at that point, it's just kind of checkup after checkup, which, even though, we are talking about cautions, for whatever reason, iRacing did not throw a caution on this on this start, even though we had car contact with one another and a car stopped on track, which typically that would cause it to throw a caution. So little abnormal and a weird start to the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'm worried about is really that damage to the 73 on that. And you see the damage right to the nose, to the side panel, also to right there. He's going to hit that interior wall. This is going to put a dent in his plans, but it's very interesting that they didn't throw a caution there on that restart. And you see now our new race leader is Angle in that 47 machine. 66 of Yates right there as well. As it looks like the field is starting to do a little bit of a Yachty reshuffle here on the racetrack.
Yeah, no, it looks like, again, I wonder... actually, Zach has not pit yet, so I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to end up staying out on those tires. Currently, he is not pit. So, from what everyone told me, the pit window is anywhere between 55 to 60 laps. So I wonder on those cautions, on those slower restarts, if he's essentially just stretching it at this point. But he's going to have to eventually come in, and we'll see. Actually, Brandon Yates, he pit on lap 4, and then Sean Dion pit on lap 8. So then I want to say at that point, our race leader is going to be John Crosby again.
Yeah, just looking at those stats there, Sean Dion, John Crosby, Dari Mayer right there as well. And as you mentioned, Zach Engel just trying to stretch this window as long as he really can. Here on lap 63, we're going to lap 110. He knows the time's basically running out for him here tonight. We'll watch how this grid starts to reshuffle itself as everybody heads down pit road. Will Weber right there, Sean Millican there as well. Just inside of that top 10, Tom Ringer. See another taker down pit road. That is the 47 of Zach Engel, our race leader now down pit road. Jacob, that's going to open the door back up for John Crosby in that 73.
Yeah, we'll see with Brandon Yates and Sean Dion. I mean, Brandon Yates, again, he pit on lap 4. Sean Dion pit on lap 8. So, actually, Brandon Yates actually, I was looking at the timing board on our end, and I thought Brandon Yates was coming in. But at that point, those guys are going to have to eventually pit, and John Crosby is just following suit. So again, John, like as we're seeing it right now, Sean Dion can't really put up much of a fight because he's on those older lap tires currently.
Yeah, and he just makes quick work of our third place machine. That is the number 3 of Sean Dion. John Crosby, as you mentioned, just basically locks in that strategy. Looks as though it's going to pay off again here tonight. Still a long way to go, though, as he's up to second. Sean Dion there in that third spot. Watch for any other movement inside of the top 5. Could be Zach Engel, who keeps sliding down. Brandon Hitton now passes him for that 4th spot. Zach Engel really trying to hold on to the top 5 if he can here, but really behind that 8 ball after that pit stop. Take a look at that 47 machine here on the track, trying to catch that draft coming off the 5 of Brandon Hitton. Now, he is going to be fast with a little bit of fresher equipment there, Jacob, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to make any moves, unless the yellow does come out.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's going to be much time, and actually, I take that back. So let's see here. Zach Engel's running a 31.6, and John is running a 34. So we might be able to see Zach end up picking up enough pace to catch up to John, but he's going to have to throw out some elbows and get around this slower traffic like what we're seeing right now between Zach and Brandon Hinton.
Boy, we love it when the elbows come out here in the Radfink Racing League as we are live here on a Thursday night with the NextGens. And it has been John Crosby's season. Has been John Crosby's night here so far, but as we've shown, we came on the air, a little bit of a funny restart caused things to go a little bit wacky here on the racetrack, as John Crosby just took the lead away from the 47 machine of Zach Engel, who had to head down pit road. Now it is Brandon Yates in that 66 leading the way, but it is a battle of pit stops here down the stretch. What pit stop strategy is going to pay off the best, and which driver will have the best strategy at the end? As now Zach Engel currently moving up to third, trying to catch that 73 with the laps winding down.
Yeah, no, and again, like I said, last lap John ran a 30.4 and Zach ran a 30.5, so I mean roughly a tenth of a second slower Zach is compared to John. But I mean they're going to start getting into lap traffic, so it's going to be, there could be a possibility of some lap traffic, maybe some miscommunication in terms of just etiquette and guy going down low, or possibly the guys that's on the current lap, going down low as well, and possibly causing a little bit of an accident. We'll see as they come around.
Yeah, as John Crosby now our race leader on the track. Zach Engel moves up to second. Brandon Hitton moves up to third in that U.S. Postal Service machine. We talked about that last week, that nice clean paint scheme on the 5. Everybody pretty widespread on the racetrack. Tom Ringer currently in 4th. Sam Millican currently in that 5th spot. Taking a look at Cody D currently in 7th. He is trying to get that hard Charger award. Currently up 10 spots as the drop of the green flag, but really stuck to the top side of the racetrack off of 4. Coming down the front stretch here, it's really the guys that are trying to lock in top 5s. You want to finish on the podium here in Ratfink. You got Brandon Hitton in that 5 machine, Zach Engel in the 47. But we've seen this movie before. If the 73 machine of John Crosby can start to check out, boy, it's going to be a long rest of the way for the rest of the guys.
It is going to be a long night for the rest of the guys. Right now, we're seeing Tom Ringer kind of get caught up in some lap traffic too behind Cody Deek and Brian Sousa. We'll see if he can end up making a pass on that lower lane and get beside them and see if he can't throw some elbows out before he has a shoulder surgery and throw some elbows out with Brandon Hinton.
You know, Jacob, I'm trying to think of the next holiday right around the corner. I think it's Easter. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask the Easter Bunny very nicely if he could maybe bring me a yellow-colored Easter egg, just for us and the folks at home. Because looking at our field right now, Jacob, we have John Crosby leading the way by over 14 seconds on the racetrack. Zach Engel is leading Brandon Hinton by 3 seconds. Brandon Hinton's leading Tom Ringer by 10 seconds. And Tom Ringer is leading Sam Millican by 3 seconds. And it only gets larger after that, Jacob. So our drivers battling for top 5 and top 3s on the racetrack are virtually on an island all by themselves at the Lady in Black.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I wonder if the Easter Bunny is listening, and you know, with these guys getting on older tires, possibly getting a little loose or maybe a little tight, end up getting their stripe on turn 2, and maybe getting a little loose and something. We'll see.
Absolutely, as the field keeps roaring around here, just about 80 laps into 110. Oh! As the caution flag flies here at the Lady in Black. Thank you very much, Mr. Easter Bunny. You delivered.
I don't like asking for cautions. I like clean races, but I mean, what impeccable timing. I wonder if Jonathan was trying to enter the pits at that point.
Let's check out what brought out that caution
flag.
He
was.
And catches Sean Dion just a little bit on that front fender. As it's another instance of just that wheel snapping from him there, Jacob, as he's going to hit the apron. That car is just going to leave the chat.
Yeah, no, it, man. Yeah, right here, this is, he gets, like you said, he gets that apron. Oh, and he's got the wheel, I mean, just cranked. And it also looks like, I mean, unfortunately, he had it in first. It looks like he was, it looks like he was trying to slow down to enter the pits. Yeah. It just came out for
Really had no time.
No, none whatsoever. This shall be interesting now. Everyone's coming into the pits currently. We'll see what happens.
As the whole field heads down pit road here, Jacob, it's going to be a crazy ending.
Yeah, no, we got John Crosby in the pits, Zach Engel in the pits, Tom Ringer in the pits, and Brandon Hinton in the pits. So we'll see the top 4 kind of battle it out. And I think, again, you know, we don't like for the cautions, but this will cause some excitement on this restart, because now at this point, Zach's going to be able to put up a little bit of a battle. You know, he's been the lap leader. He's led the most laps this evening, and we'll see if he can throw some elbows out with John Crosby at that point.
Yeah, and we all but wanted to give John the championship last week. Still had some work to be done here, as we have just about 4 or 5 races to go in this season. Definitely a victory here. Might as well roll out the champagne. I don't want to call it two-head, but, you know, this race is really going to come down to the battle on this restart. If they can keep the 73 in check, then you have a shot. If you allow John to really rocket launch off these restarts like he usually does, you can start to see your chances start to slip away as this race plays out. But a caution flag definitely shakes things up here, because now everybody's going to be completely reset right on top of one another. No huge gaps. It's just going to be one of those great Thursday night battles that we always love to watch.
Yeah, no, lights are out on the pace car coming through 1, about to exit out of 2 to head down towards the backstretch. So yeah, we'll see. And it kind of looks like the field is waiting for some guys to pass by, or I'm not for sure. It looks like we currently, I don't know where the rest of the field is at, unless they got a wave around. Because we're still missing Cody Deek and Sam, Will Weber. I mean, I see Sean Dion, but yeah, we're missing like half the field at that point. I wonder if there's a little bit of an issue.
As we await for the rest of the field to catch up here, the iRacing pace car lights are off, and it has peeled off, as it will be John Crosby, Zach Engel, Brandon Hinton, Tom Ringer, Brandon Yates, Cody Deek, and Sam Millican battling it out here on this restart. As we watch John Crosby thunder the whole field across that start-finish line into 1 and 2 as Brandon Hinton pulls out of line. Big pull out there by Brandon Hinton in the 5 as Zach Engel in the 47. He's going to follow the 73 around the corner. We're on cold tires, so anything can happen down the backstretch right now. It is John Crosby, Zach Engel, Tom Ringer as John Crosby takes us into 3 and 4.
Yeah, I wonder what happened on that restart with Brandon Hinton. He just essentially moved out of the way, or let's take a actually before we get to caught up with Mr. Brandon Hinton, we'll kind of take a look at John Crosby and Zach Engel. Well, let me find this really quick.
As John Crosby scripted the wall just a little bit there on the top side into 3 and 4. We'll see if it affects him just a little bit here down the front stretch. Zach Engel is still right there in the 47.
We'll take a.
Check.
Brandon got a little loose at that point. We're right on board. See if he had it in first, unfortunately. Oh, that's Zach Engel. Here we go. Oh, yeah, just got a little loose. Good save, though.
And that's really the hardest thing, I got to say, other than racing itself, is these restarts, where you have that cold roll into the gears. You have to accelerate into the gears, make sure you time it just right, or either that tail end can just sprung just way away from you. And that happens here in these next gens as well, with the aero being so crazy. You miss a gear, you try to get on too quickly, that car is gone.
Yeah.
As it looks as though the 47 is trying to keep the 73 in his sights as we're down the backstretch. Oh, a little bit of a topside touch there into 3 and 4.
Yeah, and again, I know we're kind of throwing a lot of replays out there, but looks like Sean Dion, looks like his night is done. Wonder what happened. Oh. Shocked to caution didn't get thrown out here. I guess iRacing is just broken this evening. I mean, my Lanta.
As we were 3 wide into the corner there, and it just looks as though it was a little bit of a sandwich action there, Jacob, and no caution was flown.
I mean, what the... I mean, yeah, that's like...
I guess if they keep it moving and keep it grooving, no caution, I guess. I mean, that's a new... I mean, just steamrolled into the back end of Sean Dion at that point. And then hits the lower... Yeah, and the caution didn't fly out. We're still green. Still moving. I guess if he's still moving, he's... Nope. Okay, and there it is right there. All right. Huh.
I mean, yeah, we're still green. I mean, I need to contact corporate at this point because that's some bull.
As we all learn things together up here in the broadcast booth, John Crosby still leading the way over Zach Engel. That does open the door, though, for Tom Ringer in that 68 to come home with a podium here tonight. As currently he's just about 3 seconds off the pace of these top 2 guys. And this is exactly what Zach doesn't want to happen here, as the 73 got that rocket restart. And he's just starting to check away with the end of this race as he's off the corner, down the front stretch into 1 and 2. John Crosby leading the way.
Yeah, John Crosby, Zach Engel, and Tom Ringer. You know, John's got roughly a 3-second lead on Tom. And then behind Tom, we have Brandon Hinton, Brandon Yates, Sam Millican, and Cody Deek. Will Weber, a lap down. Darby Mararoth, 3 laps down. Sean Dion, unfortunately, out of the race. And then Bobby Rowden, he is shows that he's in the pit because I know that he was caught up, I will say, on the last caution. But since it didn't fly on the last little mishap. So, yeah, no, that's unfortunate because I don't want to say that would have been another great restart battle between John and Zach at this point. But, man,
Yeah, that would have really thrown a monkey wrench into things here at the Lady in Black. As John Crosby, he's still holding it on for just a little bit there. The lead is starting to just temper out just a little bit. Still at about a 1.5 second lead as we do jump to a battle on the racetrack here. Jacob, 2 guys just really trying to battle it out or trying to get a good finish on the front stretch.
Yeah, no, we got Sam and Brandon Yates at that point. Brandon... I think this was before your time, before you got here, Will, but Brandon got a little loose coming out of 4 and lost quite a few positions, but slowly but surely ended up staying out of chaos, and he might get himself a top 5 finish at that point if he can end up making the pass.
Ooh.
Yeah, see, he kind of clipped the wall right there. That's kind of the same thing that happened whenever he got loose earlier.
And these cars do not like damage. These are not the type of cars that you can beat up and keep it going, keep those lap times the same. Any little nick, any little dent, any little just sort of thing to the body of these race cars really slows you down a lot. As you can tell, Brandon's really fighting that thing from the inside. As you see, Cody Deek just one spot away from him on your screen now. The 13 machine currently in that 7th spot. We'll take an onboard ride with him off of corner number 4. So in that 17th spot, up 10 spots to drop of the green flag. This is the 13 machine of Cody Deek into 1 and 2.
Yeah, and shocking. No, I should take that back. Not shockingly. So typically, Cody's somehow he ends up finding himself in the chaos. But I want to say he's in like the top 5 for points. Let me pull this up here shortly. Yeah, he's top 4. Yeah, he's the 4th position. He's roughly 63 points down, which, he's going to get, if he finishes 7th, I mean, he's going to slowly, he's going to end up, he might get super close to Todd, and I think Todd might end up dropping after the race tonight. And it'll go Brandon in a toss-up, coin toss between Todd Perrant and Cody Deek for 3rd.
As I'm watching Cody go through the gears here, and he hits that 5th gear just as he goes to the entry of the corner, drops down to 4. Down the front stretch here, he's going to really let it go all the way, shifts up, and then he's going to downshift on the apex. Very interesting take on the corner for the 13 machine.
Yeah, I know, and I think the reason behind that is because they're on older tires, and it wants to get really, really tight and suck its way up towards the wall. But we'll take a look. I mean, Cody ended up hitting. I mean, he's on 30 lap old tires,
Oh, as he almost wrecks, as we were talking about him off of 4 there, completely sideways. Cue up that Tokyo Drift music there, Mr. Producer.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I don't want to put the broadcaster's curse on him, so let's check in with someone else. Let's check in with Zach Engel at this point.
Zach Engel in that 47. We're checking in with our 2nd place car on the track. Currently trying to keep pace with our race leader, John Crosby. Not really doing it right now, though. It looks as though 2nd might be his number here tonight. Number 2 at the Darlington Lady in Black. He's holding it down, though. This is going to be a good run for the 47. As long as he can keep it clean, no caution flags out there. It will be a top 3. Great momentum into next week as we kind of wind down the season here in these next gens. And Jacob taking a look at our top 3, our podium finishers. Tom Ringer could walk away. Oh, as a caution flag waves. Caution is out for the 4th time here tonight at Darlington.
Let's see what happened here. Oh, no, Mr. Consistent Brandon Hinton. Oh, he just gets loose. Huh.
Boy, these caution flags are about as consistent as the calls in March Madness were here today. So, I mean, that's a caution, but when we have 3 cars pile one another up on the front stretch, you start to wonder there, Jacob, if somebody up there has not got some money on the finish here.
I know that's a thing. That's yeah, we're gonna have to talk to the admin board about this because something smelled a little funny. Let's kind of follow it all the way through. Oh, yeah, I just got loose right there. Back end just kind of came out from underneath him. And, I mean, luckily he ended up getting it locked up and didn't hit that lower wall. But, whew, yeah, it's weird that caution came out, but not the other one with 3 cars. So, yeah, it just, yeah, we'll have to take a look at that. Oh, and here we go. John Crosby, Zach Engel, Tom Ringer, Sam Milliken, Brandon Yates, and Brandon Hinton and Cody Deek going down pit road at that point. So we'll see on this restart. They're going to end up 9 tenths out of 10 getting some fresh rubbers, and they're going to throw some elbows out, I do believe, Will.
Absolutely. This is going to be one heck of a finish here with these guys. Complete reset with Brandon Hinton bringing out that caution flag in the 5. And it's sort of like those contact fouls you see during March Madness, where at one end of the floor it's a foul, the other end it's not, sort of thing. For the 5 machine, though, that does bring that caution flag out. But for the 73, boy, that I know John's not one to get rattled or really mindset changes too much. But you got to get a little bit frustrated that you keep getting these leads. You keep building it up. You're counting on the laps. Okay, I only have 10 laps. I only have 12 laps to go. And then the caution flag waves again. Now he has to do that restart again here, Jacob. And we were looking at maybe just around 13, 14 laps to go here. So I think one more great restart out of the 73 could get the job done. But the 47 showed a lot of great speed early in that run that we just saw. So maybe if things change a little bit here, we could see the 47 put some pressure on the 73. But it's really going to come down to the restart itself on how the rest of this race plays out.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you on that one. Now, as we saw from pit lane, John, Zach, and Tom all took brand new tires. Now you also got into the hunt of it, Brandon Yates and Brandon Hinton and Cody Deek. So we'll see on this restart if, the Easter egg the Easter Bunny hasn't been throwing us tons of yellow Easter eggs since we've asked. So we'll see if we'll end up getting another one, and if we'll see if Cody Deek can end up squeaking out a podium finish.
As we have a battle for the lead, we also have a battle for the Hard Charger Award. Right now, there is a tie between Cody Deek, Brandon Hinton, both up 11 spots. Brandon Yates up 10. So not only do we have a battle for the checkered flag, but a Hard Charger Award as well. So as you mentioned, Jacob, it's going to be Zach Engel, John Crosby, Tom Ringer, Brandon Yates, and Brandon Hinton. Inside of that, Cody Deek, Sam Millican as well.
So here we go.
Here we go. John Crosby through that restart zone. Zach Engel to his outside. Here they go across the start finish line. Oh no! The 47's in the wall. The 47 has touched the topside wall as the 73 takes us into 1 and 2 with Tom Ringer behind him as Zach Engel struggles on the restart and hits the topside wall. That'll change everything into 3 and 4.
Oh, what happened? Oh man, this start finish line has been, it has been tearing people alive. Oh, that's unfortunate for Zach.
Him to pieces.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Unfortunate for Zach. He fell off 3 spots. 4. Excuse me. He fell 4 spots. And I don't think unless another yellow Easter egg comes out, I don't think there's any way to recover from that.
No, I don't think so either. As right now, all the responsibility now lays on the 68 machine of Tom Ringer. And you see him coming off of 4, really needs to keep that pace. And with great power comes great responsibility. And right now, Tom Ringer has all the power, but does he have the responsibility to get up there to knock the 73 off the top? He's holding that speed so far, as currently we're keeping an eye out on our 3rd place car. That's Brandon Hinton into 3 and 4. Currently not only locks himself into the podium, but also the Hard Charger Award.
Yeah, no, we'll see if Brandon Hinton can end up bringing the heat towards Tom Ringer. But, ultimately, I can see it paying out. If Brandon Hinton has the pace, I don't see Tom really battling Brandon at that point. I think Tom has a lot of respect for Brandon, and I think ultimately he would let him have that spot. But we'll see as they come out of 4 at that point.
Yeah, Brandon Hinton's definitely catching that 68 machine of Tom Ringer. Zach Engel now back inside of the top 5 as he took that spot away from Cody Deek in that 13 machine. This is happening just behind these guys. As Zach Engel up to that 5th spot, he is just about a 1.5 seconds off of Brandon Yates in that 66th machine. Brandon Hinton, as we're keeping an eye out on him, currently in 3rd, our Hard Charger so far. Tom Ringer now starting to lose big speed, finds himself about 2.5 seconds off of our race leader, John Crosby, as we head into one.
Yeah, no, I think, with 6 laps left, I think John has this one in the bag, unless if another caution comes flying. But I do believe John has the pace to be able to get back on the podium this week.
As
Or excuse me,
off of
not podium, victory lane.
Yeah, victory lane, as we'll take a ride around with our race leader, John Crosby, here at the Lady in Black.
Ooh, rubbing that wall. Definitely earning his stripe this evening.
As our race leader takes us into 1 and 2, that W Energy machine is looking as though he's going to return back to victory lane. Whatever is in that powder seems to be working for John here the past a couple weeks. You also see Brandon Hitton there in the 3rd spot. Tom Ringer currently in 2nd. Brandon Yates and Zach Engel are top 5 currently here as the laps are starting to count down to the Lady in Black as we come off of 4.
Ooh, 3 laps to go. We'll see if we can keep it clean. I do believe we can. I mean, there's, roughly only 12 guys out in the field, but I don't know, the way that the cautions have been working this evening, I can see something magical happening. Possibly.
As John Crosby's just about to make it those 3 laps to go, and he just does just that. So throw up those 3s. Rest in peace to Dale Earnhardt, because only 3 laps to go between John Crosby and victory lane. Boy, we're getting to know that 73 machine here pretty well. But Tom Ringer has a chance at a podium finish as well. Brandon Hitton right there as well in that 3rd spot. Currently in that 5 machine, our hard charger wants to take home a podium as well, as we're down the backstretch now into 1 and 2, or 3 and 4.
Yeah, and Brandon Hinton currently 0.8 away from Tom Ringer, and I don't think Brandon's going to have the pace to be able to catch up to Tom at that point. So our podium finishers are probably going to be John Crosby, Tom Ringer, and Brandon Hinton.
As Zach Engel comes off of 2 and smacks that wall. Looks as though he'll lock into that 5th position as our race leader comes across that start-finish line, makes it 1 lap to go here at the Lady in Black. It is once again the John Crosby show. But Tom Ringer, Mr. Consistency, looks as though he'll come home in a 2nd position with the Firebird across the hood. And Brandon Hitton is delivering the mail late on a Thursday, as that United States Postal Service machine will come home in that 3rd spot, our hard charger award. But our most valuable driver award is going to go to the 73 machine of John Crosby, who tames the Lady in Black and makes it look easy, coming home with another checkered flag, our champ, down the backstretch.
Ooh, look at him brushing his shoulders off. Big Daddy from Cincinnati.
Man, wow, what a run it has been for the 73 machine of John Crosby. I believe, Jacob, I was listening coming onto the air. This is 4 in a row for the 73 machine.
This is number 5.
Number 5. 5 in a row for John Crosby, a feat that only the likes of Jimmy Johnson has done at Lowe's Motor Speedway or in his championship runs, winning 4 or 5 races in a row. Wow, what an incredible performance out of the 73. And again, we see this every week, Jacob. He didn't do it completely easy. It started to look like that. He was running away with it 6-7 seconds. We were kind of just counting on the laps. We asked the Easter Bunny for some caution flags. He delivered like he always does every Easter Sunday. Made it a little bit difficult for the 73, but again, just shuts the door on everybody. Wins this race by 2 seconds. Felt absolutely no pressure at the finish line. Basically, just a victory parade lap at the end there, Jacob. Wow, what another incredible performance.
Yeah, no, kudos to John again. He's just gonna, I mean, we are only on week 6, so there could be a chance. Cody D could probably catch up to him. Maybe John might get sick 2 weeks in a row, or something like that of that nature. But yeah, no, it's the point standings. I mean, John's putting the hammer down on the boys.
I don't want to have your championship dinner too early, but I'd have to say a trip to Cookout after tonight's race is definitely going to happen. And boy, am I jealous because we don't have cookouts where we are broadcasting from. So a little bit of chicken finger, double cheeseburger combo sounds good to me. Who knows? That is up to John Crosby, our champion here tonight at the Lady in Black, and I believe that is also a back-to-back podium finish for the 5 machine of Brandon Hinton as well, Jacob. So a couple of great performances outside of the 73 as well here tonight.
Yeah, no, and we will get Brandon Hinton brought into the broadcast booth. Brandon, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
How's it going, buddy? How's it feel to be back on the podium stand?
Yeah, not too bad. Started in the back, just wasn't sure about how it was going to go and everything, and just kind of taking our time. And Darlington's a fun track. It's very technical. Got a bunch of Darlington stripes, so that's a check. And then got loose off of 4, and luckily didn't hit anything, but I was shocked that brought out a caution. Able to get P3 and pretty happy with that.
No, that's what Will and I were kind of talking about, how, you did get loose out of 4. I don't remember which lap it was, but it was towards the end. But I want to say it was probably 10 laps before that. About 3 cars ended up kind of collecting one another, and a caution didn't come out. So it was kind of interesting to see that you didn't hit the wall, and you really didn't get turned around or stopped on the track, really. And it threw it. I mean, do you feel like it kind of played out in your favor essentially?
Oh yeah, well, with it coming out, yeah, because I would have lost 3-4 spots. But yeah, it's weird how that works. Like, I mean, obviously iRacing's in control of that, not you guys. And when it comes out, you would think 10-car pileup, and sometimes it doesn't come out. And then just one car spinning off that where really wasn't in the racing groove, caution comes out. It's weird.
Yeah. So now, how did you manage your tire run over the final run? I know there wasn't many laps on that last stint, but I mean, was it? It seemed like even the guys that are a little bit more well seasoned with Darlington, as the race progressed, I felt like everyone started to get real tight within like 10 to 15 laps. Is that kind of like how that all panned out towards your stint?
Yeah, towards the end of the race, everybody's pushing, trying to get what they can get. It was tight off of 2. And then, of course, 4. What I was doing to kind of save my tires a little bit was running the bottom through 3 and 4, not going all the way up to the hill and scrubbing that right front. Mm-hmm. I was just really wrapping the bottom, and that way I didn't get the scrub and the heat in that right front. Whatever Crosby was doing, that's what you should do, because that man was out there and he was gone.
Yeah.
So congrats to him. I mean, he's on a heater.
He is on a heater. Number 5 in a row.
He's good. There's no getting around it. He's good.
Well, this is your interview, Brandon. We'll talk about John here shortly, and don't wanna take any credit away from you. We always give credit where credit is due. But congrats again, on the podium finish. And Will, do you have anything for Mr. Brandon Hinton?
Well, Brandon, I wanted to ask you before we let you go, because that's actually a good tale off of Jacob there. And You kind of have a feeling that, John's going to be the guy to beat, probably going to be the champion here before it's all said and done. But I was mentioning before we came on in this interview, I believe this is back-to-back podiums for you in the 5. So kind of like, what's the mindset to close out this season, knowing that maybe the championship's not in the sights, but maybe a top 3 on the podium finish for the championship standings could be something that down the stretch could be done?
Yeah, just stacking good finishes together. Whatever the best possible position that I can obtain, that's what I want, and that those come with the most points. So staying out of trouble, not getting any damage, no DNFs, and then just see what happens. But yeah, he's got a big point lead, and so stuff will have to happen. But he's on a heater, and like I said, he's really good. So he's the benchmark, and we're all chasing him. But we just stack each race together and see what we can get.
Who knows? It's crazy season. It's March Madness season. Who knows what could happen? So
that's
great
true.
run.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and thanks Rat Fink for putting on the league. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Thanks, Brandon. We appreciate you. And any closing statements or any sponsors or anything you want to give a last minute shout out to?
No, well, Hinton Motorsports and the guys that I run with. Todd's an unofficial partner over here, but yeah, I root for him as well, and Tom and all the guys. But yeah, and like I said, what you guys do is great. You guys put on a great broadcast.
Well, appreciate you, Brandon, a ton.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
That was Brandon hitting in that 5 machine, continuing that podium streak. And I love the mindset, Jacob. He's going to stay locked in here as the season closes out, see where the chips may fall at the end. If something crazy happens and he does get into the mix for the championship, so be it. If not, he did everything he had to do for that podium finish at the end of that championship run. But it is time to speak with somebody, Jacob, that you have called Mr. Consistent here in Rat Fink, rocking that Pontiac Trans Am paint scheme. You're catching up with the 68 machine of Tom Ringer.
Tom, you got
How
a
you
copy?
doing, buddy? I am here.
Congratulations on another podium finish. How does it feel to be on the podium right before your shoulder surgery?
Well, Darlington, I'll take it because I'm not that good here. But, if you just take your time and the track clears itself, you get lucky, and there I go.
Yeah. So now, take us through on that last restart, which you were able to kind of. It looked like Brandon had kind of gotten a little loose, and then you were able to pass on by Zach Engel. Was it kind of one of those things where you're like, "Whew, thank goodness," or were you like, "Man, is it just something in the air tonight?" Because we saw on the, not the restart, but the start of the race that how you kind of got loose too.
Yeah, what happened is Crosby got loose and hit the wall. I let go of my throttle and then put it back down. As soon as I did, I got loose. So it was one of those chain reaction things. Luckily, I was able to hit the wall good enough to go, but then I got 3 minutes of damage, and my car was basically done at that point until the cautions came, and then I was able to fix. But I still had, 50, 60 seconds, whatever it was, left at the very end. If I could have got it all fixed, I'm pretty sure I had a hot rod tonight. I could have. I don't know if I'd have beat Crosby, but I'd have been up there. Well, I finished second, but maybe I'd have gave him something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and that's what we were talking with Brandon, how John, apparently, John kind of got caught up in that little bit of that chaos at the start of the race as well. But once I think he got all of his damage fixed, and it just seemed like he was on a heater. He was ready to get that number 5, that fifth win in a row.
Yeah, you got to give it to him. He's a racer, and I give him all the claps in the world. He's great. If I can just push it a little bit harder, and I want to, but I also want to, settle in. But do I want to get that aggressive? I don't know.
Yeah, that's I was telling Will, because it looked like Brandon was slowly but surely kind of creeping up to you, and I had made a comment. I was like, especially with Brandon, I don't see Tom really throwing his elbows out much and battling against Brandon. I could see him, possibly letting him go by and having that position, but Brandon wasn't able to catch up to you. But no, it's I'll say it. You're not afraid to throw your elbows out whenever the it's necessary.
Yeah, if we would have got another restart, I would have raced with him. I would have gave him everything I had, but it just hasn't fell where I can really get into it and do what I want to do to win some. It's been a while. I need a win here because I've been lagging off a little bit, and it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. Maybe after my surgery,
Yeah.
Right now it's hard with my left hand. I mean, it hurts all the time, and I'm always driving with my right, and then I got to shift, and it's bothering me. So maybe that's part of it, but I'll get there.
Yeah.
Next season, maybe I'll run for it.
Yeah, sounds like we're gonna have to start getting you a chauffeur, old man.
Yeah, for sure.
Will, you have anything for Tom at this point?
No, I just gotta say I love the paint scheme here tonight. I love that color scheme of the Trans Am. So just great choice overall, Tom. And man, you got quite a heater going on right now. That's a back-to-back podiums for that 68.
Yeah, they still make those. There's a company in, I think, North Carolina that still takes the Chevy Camaro and makes those paints. I ran that paint about 7 years ago and hadn't run it since, just kind of been messing around. And then I was going through my throwbacks, and I came across it, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to throw it on there, and people will call me the bandit, but hey, I'll take it.
There you go.
Little boss hog energy. There you go.
But I appreciate everything you guys do. You guys are awesome.
Well, appreciate you, Tom. And as always, you have any last minute shout outs or any sponsors you want to thank for this evening?
I do want to put it out there that Mark Holloway is getting ready to start this late models, and I'd like to see a lot of guys show up for it. Hopefully everybody's listening, and
oh yeah,
if we can get a show up, 10 cars, short track.
Yeah.
Late models, it's going to be a lot of those cars are sticky. They stick to the road, so it makes it fun.
Yeah, no, it'll be exciting to see Mark kind of grab the series by the horns. I should have said something earlier, but yeah, no, he was pretty excited about it to get it going. So I'm looking forward to it for him as well.
Yeah, it should be a good time if we can keep 10 or so on the track until it really climbs up. We'll be happy with it. We'll keep it going. If it falls short, then we gave her a whirl, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The All-American boy try, right? Well, Tom, we appreciate you. Congratulations again on the podium, and we will see you next week.
All right. I'll see you guys in the booth shortly.
All right. Thank you, sir.
That was Tom Ringer, the driver of the 68 machine, coming home second here tonight. And Jacob, a little fun fact before we get with our winner, John Crosby, in that 73 machine. Just checking back on the history books, it was the same exact podium last week for our finishers as well, with Brandon Hinton and Tom Ringer just flip-flopping those positions, as Brandon Hinton came home second, Tom Ringer came home third last week. But the man at the top of the leaderboard, of the grid, of the scoring tower, whatever you want to call it, for number 5 in a row, it is the man that is now, I'd have to say, one of the best sponsored athletes of W Energy out there, Mr. John Crosby. And John, I mean, man, I think at one point you had like a 8-second, 7-second lead. Caution came, you built it back up again. Take us through how you were able to make this look so easy here tonight, the Lady in Black.
Patience, lots of patience, and you race the track, not everyone else. So I know me and Jacob were talking earlier about the Darlington stripe, and I got it a few times.
I was gonna say there's a couple times you ended up collecting it.
Oh yeah, and especially on that restart. Did you see that?
On the very first lap, which one?
The very first restart, or not restart, the start of the race.
Yeah.
That was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, and it was something also throughout this race that Will and I had talked about. It's kind of being said in the Discord and the chat as well. How the caution didn't come out, and there was a couple other scenarios where there was a 3-car collision and that caution didn't come out. But then you have nothing towards him or anything; he can't control it. But Brandon Hinton gets loose out of 4 towards the end of the race, and the caution gets thrown. So it's like, is it an update thing, or I don't know?
I think it depends on where you're at on the track. I don't know that for a fact, but I didn't see any of them except the one that I was in.
Because they were all in your rearview mirror, huh?
Stop it. No, I couldn't see anything. So I think it just all depends on where they're at on the track. So kind of weird, but definitely surprised we didn't get the caution at the start of the race. But I think everyone was just going so slow. Maybe I don't really know. So,
yeah.
It's just bad luck.
Well, take us through that final run. I mean, and we kind of saw it through a lot of the other guys. Was the tire wear pretty heavy on that final stint? Because it looked like everyone was kind of getting tight, even you included.
Yeah, I was pushing it quite a bit. I'm looking at my tire right now. The last, I think, was 10 laps. I was down to 84 on the right front.
In 10 laps?
In 10 laps.
Man, you were pushing it.
I was trying everything I could. I wanted to get away ASAP.
Yeah.
But that first run, I was surprised. I started in the back because I had damage and I got that all fixed. And then slowly made my way up, and I caught, was it Anthony? Or no, Zach Angle.
Zach Angle. Yep.
Yeah. I caught him in like 40 laps, I think. So I was doing some pretty good tire management, but still staying fast. So it's trying to find that balance of where you can push it harder or slow it down. So I found a good rhythm there, and the restarts with new tires, you gotta know where to, since you've been on old tires and now you're on new tires, now you want to be extremely slow because you're on old tires. So it was just trying to find the balance of where you can push it and all that fun stuff.
Gotcha. It sounds like we are having some. Can you still hear us, John?
Yeah. Am I breaking up?
A little bit. Sounds like, I don't know if it's on my end or if it's the Discord's in, but.
It's me.
Oh, no, you're good. We can hear you now.
Hang on. Just. How about now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. No, I think we're having some technical difficulties. Not for sure. Well,
I think it's on my. It happened in the race too.
Gotcha. Well, we'll wrap it up now. Will, you got any last remarks for John?
Man, I don't know what the saying is for 5 in a row, but dude, I mean, just doing it, and I have to say, you've probably just about wrapped up the championship as well. You have about 5 more races to keep that streak alive. I know it. You still got 5 more races to go there, Mr. Crosby. 5 more races to win. 5 more checkered flags to hang up as well. But as we always love to do with you podium finishers, I think you've kind of shouted them all out here the past 4 weeks in a row, but anybody that helps you getting to victory lane, go ahead and shout them out.
Yeah, definitely want to thank Whiskey Soda Racing. These guys are awesome, and I feel bad for Brian. He got collected and got like 7 minutes of damage in one of those cautions. So, but big shout out to him. He was going to have a good race. And I want to thank W Energy. Use code JC73 for 10% off when you check out, and you get some good stuff. I have some stuff coming right now, so you guys can see what I'm getting, and I'll give you my honest review on everything. So I'm not sugarcoating anything. So you're getting good stuff.
Okay.
So definitely big shout out to them. And then I want to thank Rat Fink, you guys, for putting on a great show every week. So thank you guys very, very much.
Appreciate you, John, and appreciate the kind words, and as always, appreciate the domination that you're bringing onto these guys. So hopefully, because aren't you? You're also leading the. I know we don't broadcast it, but we do stream it on our YouTube channel on Wednesday nights, same time and everything. But you're also leading that as well, too, correct?
Yes, I am. Yeah. I think we had a drop race, and I kind of fell back in point. Well, I didn't fall back, but I'm still leading. But it's a smaller gap now, so we'll see where that leads us. And then in the trucks, I think I'm in third in the points. I haven't had good luck with the trucks lately.
Yeah,
but this was great. My worst finish this week was second.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
I'm getting some really good luck. I'm just gonna keep praying.
Well, keep on doing what you're doing, John, because it's working out for you. And as always, we appreciate you having you. And congratulations again on the win, brother.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Awesome. Have a good night.
See ya.
That was the 73 machine of John Crosby, who makes it 5 in a row here at the Lady in Black. And as we're having a little bit of connection issues there, make sure to use your code JC73 for 10% off of all your W Energy needs. And if you're waiting to see if that W Energy is for you, John was mentioning he has some coming to himself, probably in a little victory celebration mood, Jacob would have to assume. So you'll get to find out if it's really good or not. But whatever he is mixing into his water bottles at night, Jacob, it is surely the right stuff. Because 5 in a row, I think we were running out of things to really break down on the 73 week in and week out.
Yeah, no, I mean, he checks all the boxes. So we'll see. We'll see how it's going to end up panning out. Because next week is one of my least favorite tracks, Martinsville. If you want to see me crash out in terms of just rage and through a complete fit, watch me race Martinsville, because it will happen. It's my worst track, and with how small of a track that is, we'll see if John can get 6 in a row next week.
Absolutely, and we'll see if that streak can continue. Martinsville, we're going to keep this short track racing alive. And, Jacob, crash out or not, we'll have to see if John Crosby can make it 6 wins in a row. And, boy, what a feat that would be in these next gens. But as we just talked with, John Crosby was our race winner. Tom Ringer comes home second, and Brandon Hinton comes home third. And Jacob, as I mentioned, if you were a betting man and you bet the same podium back-to-back weeks, you would have gotten paid again, because that was the same podium we had last week with these 3 drivers as well. Just outside of that podium, we had Brandon Yates, Zach Engel in the 47. Could have been on that podium, really had the speed. Just a late race slip-up cost him so much at the end. Will Weber comes home 6th. Sam McCannon comes home 7th. Cody Deek comes home 8th. Darby Maroth comes home 8th. And Thomas Wynn's going to be our top 10. And after that, Jacob, it really gets the night could have gone better for some of these guys. Brian Sousa, Todd Perrant, Sean Dion, Bobby Rowden, Jonathan McIntosh, Victor Etheridge, Anthony Harden, and Colton Jackson are our official results here tonight. And Jacob, we're coming off the tail end of John Crosby winning his 5th in a row. Of course, we watched the Hard Charger Award go to another podium finisher and Brandon Hinton. The point standings, I would have to say it's going to be a very, very tough uphill battle. But after talking to Brandon in that 5, there's still a lot of points and a lot of positions to be had as we wind down the season.
Yeah, no, you are 100% correct. We'll see. We'll see how it kind of all shakes up. We currently I'll pull this up. We currently have nine more races. So I mean, and we'll pull up the point standings again. Really quickly, you know, John currently has a 57-point lead, you know, on Todd Perront and Brandon Hinton, you know, 62 points behind at that point. But we'll, you know, 9 weeks, a lot can happen. Again, John can end up being sick for 2 or 3 weeks, and you know, Todd could ultimately end up becoming the podium, not podium finisher, but the championship leader at that point, and kind of roll the dice at that point. But if I was a betting man, my money's going to be on John Crosby at that point.
Absolutely. And we've seen it in history also in auto racing. Sometimes racking up all those victories don't get you a championship. So even though he may have 4 or 5 wins now, so with so many weeks left, somebody could really start to shake that cage and really make some noise. It could be a 5 machine of Brandon Hinton maybe coming through with some of these good finishes. Cody Deek, we had mentioned during that broadcast as well, has it in him to get these finishes in the books as well. But Jacob, before we wrap things here at the Lady in Black, any new adjectives to describe the tutorials that are being put on by the 73 machine of John Crosby?
Dominance. The triple D. I'm going to start calling John Crosby Triple D, because that is what he is displaying right now. Dominance.
Put on a show once again at the Lady in Black. Did on the restarts, fought through some caution flags at the end. Then there were some phantom cautions that should have been called, not called. Who cares at the end? It's still the 73 taking home that checkered flag, and there's still guys that are really just napping at his heels trying to get that victory from him. It could be the 68, could be the 5 machine, but we'll have to wait and see until next week at Martinsville. In the meantime, though, guys, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, as well as that notification bell for every time we go live here in the Radfink Racing League YouTube page. We're going to be live next week on Tuesday night at around 9:40 Eastern Standard Time as we get back behind the wheel of those trucks. And it is John Crosby also putting on a show in that series as well. But for all of us here in the NextGen series, my name is William Tiller. I am joined up here by lead commentator and broadcaster extraordinaire Jacob Williams, who is providing all those awesome camera angles here tonight. We want to wish everybody a great night. Also, good luck on what's left of your March Madness bracket. We got day 2 tomorrow here in March. But it is John Crosby in the 73 taking home another victory. Same podium as last week. Just Brandon Hinton and Tom Ringer swapping those spots. But we'll see you back here next week at Martinsville as we stay on the East Coast. We'll see you back here in the Radfink Racing League. Have a great night, everybody.
Alright, everybody, we are back here on the Radfink Racing. We're going to do 130 laps, 3 sets of tires, as they're rolling off pit road.
Roger, you got a copy up there? I do, sir. You ready to kick this thing off? Let's rock and roll. Hey, stars off. You ready?
Green flag here racing once again in the Radfink Racing League.
First opportunity getting into turn 1 and 2, and they're going to see Nate Lesko on the bottom side of that Nesquik Toyota Camry. Huge run.
John Crosby in the 77. We'll go at it, the 73 and the 77. Door to door to 1
Out of
and 2.
turn 4, and they start heading back. Oh, the name wreck 18 is around big. Boom, on the ringer. Just hurled to the inside. That was nearly a mess.